Alright, so we got a GE refrigerator, French door style. And the issue with this unit, not making ice. Right now I'm checking to feel if I can feel any frozen cubes or anything in the ice maker itself. Now, if you had frozen cube, that would be a different situation. Maybe a stuck motor as well, but also a bad heater. So if you're getting water from the door, you don't have to do this step. I am doing it just in the event that you are not getting water in the door. You'd want to come back here and get a jumper lead and add water or add a hose as you see it disconnected. And what you want to do, initiate power, and you should get water. And we're verifying that your initial valve is good. If this valve is not working, you will not get water anywhere in the refrigerator. It's a safety valve and it has to be working. When the ice maker goes into harvest, when you press the dispenser, that valve is activated. So it's your, you may say, safety valve. All right, so everything's good here. So we're going to button up and we're going to go to the ice maker. Now there's a cover you have to remove. Pretty straightforward. At the bottom, 3 screws, and you expose the valve. Now these valves feed the door and also your ice maker. So we're checking everything and I'm verifying again that we are getting water. So we're good with water in the door. Now another thing you'd want to check to make sure that you're getting water, if you're a filter head or if you have the wrong filter, sometimes you want to verify that. Some GEs, they have a special filter. So if you don't get the exact unit with the barcode, the ice maker will not read the water valve, and you will not get water from the valve itself. So check those things, and if possible, use OEM filters. I prefer them. They always seem to be a little bit better quality. Now, so we're checking valve and everything is good here. So we're going to go to the ice maker shortly. If you want to jump ahead, I think it's around 15 something, and you can jump ahead. If you do remove, make sure you put those clips back, those keepers. They keep the water line from actually vibrating and coming out. They're there for a reason, and it keeps everything nice and tight. So if you do pull them out, when you remove the water line, put them back in. I was trying to initiate harvest, but of course the motor was not working. This part of the test, I am going to place a cup under the ice fill tube valve, and I'm going to basically reset the ice maker. The paddle, as you see, I was pressing it 4 times, and what that does, it puts the ice maker into harvest. But the issue with the ice maker, it was not rotating. The motor was stuck. Otherwise, you'd have seen water in the cup. So I will dismantle the ice maker and show you how to fix the ice maker motor, to be precise, and then the ice maker will start to work. So as of right now, if you have this issue, you can put your hand on the ice maker and you can feel vibration. If you reach your hand or your fingers, just stick them in the ice maker housing where the tines or the fingers are. You should be able to feel it moving, rotating. Once it does the rotation, it should let water in. If you're not feeling movement, it means the ice maker motor is stuck or something has caught in the ice maker, maybe too much water or something that is stopping the ice maker from moving. I was tapping it. Sometimes tapping it does the trick, believe it or not. Sometimes these things just get stuck and they just need a little persuasion. So we're going to be taking the ice maker out. Pretty straightforward. Pretty much one screw and you slide it out, and then you're going to have a screw in the top and 2 screws to remove the motor in the ice maker itself, and I'll show you how we get that rolling. So I was still checking because I thought it was moving, and it did move for a second and then it just timed out. So if you notice it's not moving, don't keep doing that. It's not going to do anything. Take the ice maker out or replace your ice maker. That is the other fix. But part of my videos that I love to share is fixing or showing how to save your appliance so that you don't actually have to replace them. Even parts. A lot of times, parts are not truly broken. They're just stuck. All right, let's get going. Right now, removing the ice maker. It's pretty much held in by one screw. Can't mess it up. Once you get the ice maker out, you're going to have one Phillips screw to remove the cover. And you'll need like a pick or something to release the tab at the bottom. Sometimes you can just pull it and it comes out. So now we have the ice maker open up, and sorry about the angle. So we're looking at the motor, which is that round thing. Sometimes you can tap it, and sometimes they just get stuck. So unit is plugged in. I'm tapping it, and I'm hoping to see some rotation. I just placed a cup underneath the water fill, because if the ice maker does the cycling, it will release water, and water will make a mess. So have a towel or have something to catch the water if and when the ice maker does cycle or go into a harvest. So I kept trying to initiate the harvest mode, tapping again, and it was not doing anything. The motor is basically bind. It did not want to do anything. So it's a stuck motor. So what we're going to do, we're going to remove the two Phillips screws holding the motor in place. Don't forget your ground wire. There's a green wire. Now, I thought it was moving. That's why, again, I held the cup there. But again, it did not. I'm also using my hand to kind of just, push those fingers along. Sometimes they can get a little stuck, and just a little push and they start to move. So try these all these tricks before you actually open it up, meaning open the motor. But if you do feel the motor very warm, very hot, then the motor is definitely stuck, and you might have to go in and open it up. So I'm probably going to jump ahead a little bit because it did not work. If it worked, I would have obviously showed it. And just basically trying to get it to go into harvest before we go to the next step. So so we're going to remove those two screws and get this thing rolling. We do use a little bit of WD-40, and you might need a channel lock, and you're going to turn, not turning, but you're going to basically kind of agitate the motor just a little bit to get it to move, and it will turn on its own. All right, let me jump ahead and get into this motor. Again, sorry about the angle. Now we have the motor out, that little round thing. It has a bunch of teeth or splines on it, and inside you have gears. Now, those gears on the inside get stuck, and they're not able to move that motor. Now, if you notice you're missing teeth on yours, or some of the splines are missing, you need to replace either the motor. Sometimes you can source it, check the part number and whatnot. If not, you'll have to replace the ice maker. So now what we're doing is plugging back the harness, plugging in the ice maker, and we're going to activate the reset paddle. We're going to press the paddle again, and we're going to check the motor to see if the motor is turning, which you'll see that it's not. And then we will get to the fix, and then you'll see it turning, which means you'll be making ice. Okay, so now initiating. 1, 2, 3, 4. Totally stuck. So right now the motor should be moving, but it is not. I can feel the vibration. No movement at all. And that's why the motor was so hot, because it was trying to move. So I'm going to unplug again, and we're going to get some WD-40 and get it rolling. Now you don't need a lot. You want to spray on I did a little bit on the inside, and I don't think that hole went all the way through, but you want to go on the outside and let it soak in. Now you want to use a channel lock, and you want to be very careful with this. First, use your finger, just use your hand, try to turn it and see if you can get it to rotate, and then initiate the harvest again. Try that before you put a channel lock on the teeth. I'm very careful, and you need to be as well. Don't squeeze. Very gently just hold them, but you don't want it to turn either. So all you're trying to do is kind of nudge it just so that it's unstuck. So it does rotate, but you want to be careful not to force it, because you go in the wrong direction, you can damage the motor. So once the motor is loose, now we're okay. See the movement up and down. There's a spring action that goes in there, and once it's back in the motor or in the housing, you will see. Before we put it back in the housing, what you want to do, go ahead and plug the unit back, and go ahead and initiate harvest again, and pay attention to the motor. Now, I was putting my cup back up there because it was starting to harvest. But keep in mind, the unit will not go into water dispensing when the motor is out. So I'm showing right now the motor rotating. It is sped up so you can see the motor. And so you don't have to put a cup or anything up there. Once the motor is back into the ice maker, then yes, because it is actually initiating the water valve, command to the water valve to turn on, and everything is done through the motor. If the motor is not working, nothing gets done. Keep that in mind. That's why it's so important that the motor is rotating. Alright guys, so we're wrapping up. As you can see, the ice maker is fixed, and it was something quite simple, so to say. When you know, you know. Alright, so now we're going to be closing it up and basically give it 24 hours and you shall have ice. Alright, thanks for watching. Make sure your ice maker as well is turned on the display. Sometimes you can have it where it's turned off and you will not make ice. So keep that in mind. And again, give it 24 hours to make ice. Now this is the customer sent me this. I asked him to send me this clip, which is the unit making ice, as you can see. And he even showed it in the glass. Alright guys, thanks for watching.